on down. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out why you are still stuck. Why are you still stuck after 50 years, after 70 years, after 90 years, when you have so much inside of you that you just need to, as they say, have a come out party? Yes, baby. Come out party, come out party, come out for your purpose. As you know, I have a purpose for peace movement. And this movement is just not leaving you behind. This movement is so that you can engage your life in things that you want to do, not always the things that you have to do. And perhaps you collected a lot of things, like I said, over the years. But one thing you did get, you got wisdom, you got great memories, you got always had opportunities in front of you. Now, whether you've embarked on them or not, I'm saying if you haven't embarked on the opportunities, hey, Pinky, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Love seeing you. And you know what? I'm so happy Pinky's here because she brings real, true experience at 90 years old. She's out here. She was just at a wedding the other day, and she's still driving and still TikToking. And I tell you, she has never give up, and she believes in living her life to the fullest and living in her best life. She's traveled the world and continues to travel. So we're going to talk about what she has, which is she has passion and she has clarity. And we all can have that. We all can choose to have passion in our lives for the things we want to do and love to do and like to do, and things that just shoot off those endorphins so that we are doing. Yeah, society tells us, like, our senior years, we need to slow down. But I'm just telling you, there's no such thing as retirement anymore where you just don't do nothing and you don't just sit down and be, because you want to not get into the atrophy, whether it's the atrophy of the mind or the atrophy of the body. So that's why I say when you wake up every day, you have gratitude for the day, okay, that you started, that you got up and you breathed the day and you're able to start on another journey of purpose. Yes, so that you have your peace. And I get up and I say my prayer. I use the sutra. And then I do my Namyo Renge Kyo, my chant, and move on for my day to now engage in a book, or engage in some music, or engage in some sort of lesson or research, so I don't have any regrets or I don't have any illusions about what I can do and what I can be, because there's nothing stopping you from doing whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve in your life every single day but you. Because the choice is yours. Just make another decision. Just make another decision. The other day I was talking to my daughter, and she's going through this great opportunity of a new position. And she was engaged with it with her adopted sister. And I was so proud of the two of them embarking on this great opportunity. And I told them, if things get messy, in anything that you do, you just have to do what? Make another decision. Make another decision that launch you forward. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's getting a mentor or a coach like myself. Perhaps it's writing your book that you put off for the last 20 or 30 years. But whatever it is, you make a decision to change where you are, what your mindset's going through at the time. That's why you don't have to have false evidence appearing real. You don't have to have the chaotic thoughts that make you go crazy. They keep you up at 2 a.m. in the morning that you're worried and so concerned about. Because 95% of the things that you think are going to happen don't even happen. And that's why I come up here every Tuesday and Friday to remind you that you have everything inside of you to begin working on your purpose. And I have a purpose for peace movement because I have learned that when people are working on their purpose, they have their peace. And they're peaceful people. They want to talk to you, they want to engage with you, they want to inspire you, they want to encourage you, they want to work with you, they want to lunch with you. They want to have dinner with you. They want to touch you. They want to teach you because people that are on fire with their life want to share that expression of their lives with you. That's why telling the stories about your life really helps a lot of people. And really, you may not have to help everyone in the world, but if you teach one and touch one and you change one person's life, you change their attitude about their life, you change them about getting away from the regrets and sorrows and help them move their self towards purpose and peace, guess what? They're forever indebted in you. And now you have a partnership and a good friend that remembers how you brought them through. Yes, because my students, clients do the same thing for me. They call, they say, "Hey, Wendy," that's why I try to get folks to get engaged in the clarity discovery call, the one-on-one call, so we can, you know, get through the quagmire of the stuff that's keeping you stuck because you don't need to be stuck. You need to be moving forward because you have so many more years left. And as I keep saying each week, there are more and more and more hundreds of thousands of centennials each and every day. I spoke to my cousin last week, and she said, the thing is, I wasn't really taught to live past a certain point. People started dying early in my life. She lost her father, her mother, her aunt, her sister, her brother, and then she is the only family member left. And so she thought, well, when I hit my 70s, I'm not going to be here much longer. No one else made it much longer. And so she just put herself in place, make sure her finances were good, make sure her home is managed. And she was just kind of waiting waiting instead of taking the opportunity to stepping out on the journey or realizing she's going to be here another 30, 40, 50 years. And so she really didn't plan for that. She didn't prepare for that. And so we talk about that every day. And she does, but she's working on her purpose. She's kind of like an antiquer and she loves that. And, I guess she would have probably revved it up even more if she realized that, she's going to be here another 30, 40 years and you'd be doing something that she loved to do. So I'm saying to each and every one of you who are seniors, perhaps that's why you're stuck, because you were never told that you would be on this planet for an additional 30, 40, 50, 60 years, right? You were told that at a certain point, maybe age 65 or 62, you're going to go ahead and get some retirement, some social security, and you were just going to kind of be right? You could sit back and just binge watch on film and everything was fine. Your money comes in and you don't have to think about another thing in your life. And well, it would be great if life was that. But life sometimes is life and many times life's with our health, right? Which is the most devastating thing that we have to face because as seniors, I mean, we heard as little children from our elders about how they had this pain, how they had to take this elderberry juice, how they, their neck hurt, how their eye and what. But we weren't paying attention. We weren't listening. No, I know you weren't. Because I wasn't. I didn't pay attention until all of a sudden it happened to me. I hit, that ripe old age, and then all of a sudden, boom, the back started hurting, boom, the sciatic came up, boom, and just things like that. Now, I fortunately didn't have any issues with the memory. I'm so glad I didn't have a problem there, but the body just decided to be dysfunctional. And so because of that, and then I was on some medication for 30 years that's called Levoxyl. It was for thyroid. And because of that, it it depleted my calcium and it made me have a deformity in my leg. And I shouldn't have had any deformities because I danced from 4 to 17. And I know my body. And I went to the gym from 2 to 3 days a week, most of my life. Because when I was in corporate America, maybe that's where I went to get off the stress. I worked it out. I worked it out. I love swimming and I love dancing. I love shows. And I kept doing those things. But the thing that was deceiving for me was the body when I was still working on it. So this has happened to you. I get it. I understand. It scares the hell out of you. It shocks you. It really changes your mind with yourself. You like having an argument with yourself. Like, what is happening here? What is taking over? Why is this going on? And so all of a sudden, you are afraid. You are afraid because of the pain that's in your neck. You're not understanding where it's coming from, why it is, or you feel a pimple over here and you're thinking, oh my God, I got a tumor somewhere. And all of these things are things that block us from moving ourselves forward with our purpose. We end up being frustrated. We end up having a lot of regrets. And I want to tell you, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Because I can also tell you that when you make that decision to now work on your purpose, to find your peace, you'll get that body. You'll keep that mind moving. You'll do things that all of a sudden change how you feel about the dysfunctionality, perhaps of your health, because now you've moved your mindset to other things like writing your book as I did, be splendid in your day. Yes, you can do that. You can write the book, you can read the book, you can do all types of things once you put your mind in gear to do it. And it's called taking action. Like I showed you here in my book of Never Give Up. There are no pages in this book. This is a book for you to write your purpose, to have your peace, and to never give up. This is a book from my organization, SGI. But you know what? You can write and design your own book, but also keep in mind, never give up. Always apply something to your life. Take these 10 minutes every day. 10 minutes every day. Next day is 20 minutes. Next day it's a week. Next day it's a month. Next day it's a year. And you look back and you see a new you. Yes, baby. Yes, boo. You see a new you. I see a new me from what I'm doing, from walking the walk and talking the talk as a speaker, now as a writer, and I already was a coach. So I'm saying, you know, these things, there's no mistake in the universe. So take the opportunity to live your best life. You were put in this world to be your greatest self, not just your average self, but your greatest self. And perhaps you didn't get there for one reason. Perhaps you didn't have an encouraging parent. Perhaps you didn't have an encouraging teacher. Perhaps you didn't have an encouraging friend. And so sometimes when you are surrounded in an element of people of lack or people of limits, you can't find your way into your self purpose because you haven't been encouraged, you haven't been inspired, you haven't been guided, you just haven't been thought to be more than the box they have put you in, or you have allowed yourself to go to. Kind of like, when people kennel train their puppy. You can kennel train a puppy and you can keep him in that kennel, period, right? And that's what I think people do to each other because of jealousy, because of envy, whatever. They try to put you in the kennel, baby, but you aren't a dog. It's just like when people say you can't teach a dog new tricks. I try to remind you all, we aren't dogs. We are human beings, and we can be taught something every single solitary day. And I'm asking you to help be the teacher. Yes, just by telling your stories. Put your stories out on Substack. Put your stories out on Instagram. Put your stories out on Facebook. But bring your stories to the world so that the world can embrace your wisdom, so that the world can change how they feel and think about things because of your journey. That's how we look at our ancestors. You know, this past weekend, was the 250th year of July of America's birthday, right? It was July 4th. And what transpired is that we went through a lot of history of what happened in America. And we know that there were some atrocities that happened, and there's still some atrocities going on. But we know that through each of those adversities, we have overcome and become greater than we ever thought we could be, we ever felt we would be. And yes, now we are. We are the greatest country in the world. And with the greatest country in the world, we've got to be the greatest human being. So I'm just saying, all of you guys have something. I don't care if you just went through the atrocity of what happened in Venezuela. My prayers are with you and your family, but I'm asking you to stand up for yourself. I know it's hard. I know you're grieving. I can't feel the loss of the families to the degree that you have lost them. But what I can help you do is I can help you have hope. I can help you see yourself through. I can give you tools like my book, Be Splendid in Your Day, to pull you up and get you in a place mentally that you can now function again, that you can regrow again. And I'm saying, take the time. Yes, you need to grieve. Yes, you do. Yes, you need to grieve. But then step out into your purpose. Make this situation that you have survived because so many have died. Make this situation where you have survived and you can touch one and teach one and rebuild your company, your country, rebuild yourself, rebuild your family. And yes, nothing comes easy. No, not even when we start working on our purpose. We start working on our purpose. That's why we have to gain clarity because it's very confusing. It's like, okay, I want to learn Japanese, but do I go through uh an internet program, or do I go through Billy Hobby School? What do I do to get there? And that's what we all have to do our due diligence and research, which was why I'm suggesting you join my 90-day challenge to take you from where you are today. And in 90 days, you have transformed where you thought you were to where you now want to go because you are working on your purpose for peace. Invest in yourself always because most of you, especially you women, y'all have invested in everybody. Y'all been somebody's mama, y'all been somebody's sister, y'all been somebody's cousin, y'all been somebody's friend, y'all been somebody's wife, girlfriend, lover, boyfriend, maybe. I don't know. But you have all the things in you because you've been a thing or a person and been on a journey, Haley, and been on a journey, Noah. Yes, I want you to like and subscribe to this channel if I'm speaking your language because this is just a support channel. It's like having that support dog, that you pet to feel better. Come here and get engaged. Be engaged and be surrounded with people of purpose and people who are of purpose for peace. Yes, bring your faith, whatever it is, and let's pray together. Let's stay together. Let's be united together for a purpose for peace movement. Because when we are many in body, but one in mind for peace, yes, we are on fire. And we change the world because we have. I'm not telling you anything new. We just celebrated 250 years of America. And I don't know what country you're in, but I can tell you that you've celebrated something. In fact, unfortunately, the Venezuelans were out celebrating something in the quake happened. They were all out celebrating some their country event. And I'm saying, and then they got caught, they got knocked down. But I want you to send prayers to them so they can get back up again and they can see that there's so much in those that made it through that now they got to pull each other up together, united in peace and purpose. Purpose, Jesse, yes. Purpose, Conrad, yes. Purpose, Haley, yes. Purpose for peace. Because when you have your purpose, you have your peace. So embrace them. Send them prayers, world, global world. Be united. Be united for purpose, for peace movement. Because when you have your purpose, you have your peace. And I just want you to engage in that. Yes, yes, and stop. Don't be left behind. There's so many tools, so many groups. There are groups that you can join. Like I said, I'm asking for you to subscribe here on my Substack. I'm asking you to subscribe here on my TikTok page. I'm asking you to subscribe so that we can have this movement and share it with everyone all over the world. And that's a peace purpose for peace movement. Baby Conrad, Joseph, Nelly, Pinky, you know you got everything inside of you. If you don't know it, let me tell you today. You have got everything inside of you to write your story. You have everything inside of you to find your peace. You have everything inside of you to make a decision to start today. To start today by telling your story, your yellow brick road story, and sharing it with one another. And sharing these stories with sincerity and humility, no matter how horrible they were. I've told you guys, I've had challenges from when I was a child. Yeah, I've had an assault as a child. And so, when you go through that, you kind of question, were you in the right place, the right time? What did you do? Hey, I was a child. So to say, do nothing. It just happened. It was there. But now you learn from that experience. You learn how these things come up. You learn what you see. You learn your people around. You learn the questions. And so you get out of it. You get rid of those people. And that's the other thing that I really suggest to everyone. Hi, Ellie. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. And that is to come up and get rid of, okay? Start making a list of the people that aren't in there for you. Start making a list of the people that BS'd you most of your life, lied to you, told you stories, didn't encourage you, always thinking something negative. Get away from them people because those people don't help you. They give you chaotic environments and then you contribute to them by gossiping with them, by smiling with them, by laughing with them. And they have issues. So leave the issue and people away. And you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the false friends. I'm talking about the friends that only call you up every time they need something. And they don't say, they'll call you up on off days to say, how you feeling, girl? Is there something you need? Do you need some socks? Would you like some soup? Nothing like that. Okay? They just call up with, oh, ooh, 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 my garage door broke. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. I'm looking for a new home and I'm trying to find a location. Where do you think I should move to? Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, okay. Do you think you can get me to the airport? Hey, you know what? That's this is now the time to leave them people behind. Okay? You need to set boundaries because the users and abusers got to go. That's number one you got to do in your life. And I didn't even realize that because I was an only child, pretty much. I do have a brother who was 15 years older than I from my father's first marriage. But we very rarely saw each other. And my grandparents raised him. And so he didn't live in the household with us. So I grew up as an only child. And as an only child, I was always looking for a friend. I was always looking for somebody to be my friend. And then all my friends seemed to have siblings, and they would always have these great conversations with their siblings. And, even crazy fights because they would wear each other's clothes, and then the one would get mad that you wore my clothes and you didn't clean my clothes. And I thought, wow, wow, man, I wish I had a sibling that I could have gone through that. I wish, but then I tried to make my friends my siblings. Did you all try to do that? When you try to make your friends your siblings, and that friend is not your friend, and that friend takes everything from you, and that friend Tells you they're gonna do this, but they do that. They never do what they say they're gonna do. And if you ask them for help, they never help you the way that you need to be helped, Sue, Fish, Billy, Tate. You ever have friends like that? Well, I want you to close the door and step out. You have permission today, okay, to block them. You have permission today to step out on your purpose and make a change. Because when you start working on your purpose, you can't have no crazy stuff going on. You've got to have encouragement. You got enough holes that you're going to step in working on your purpose because you're going to learn something new. And when you learn something new, you get do it with confidence. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to start messy. And you don't need negative Sally, negative Nellie, negative Nelson, you know, around you. You need applause. You need you tried today. Congratulations. Start another day. Okay, so you fell in the hole. Get back up. Come on, baby, we're going. You need your cheerleaders on. You need someone to push the button to help you get through, not somebody that's going to take you down or jealous of you because you are great, Sarah. And somebody hasn't told you that, Billy. And somebody hasn't told you that, Sue. Let me tell you, you are great and you have a yellow brick road that someone needs to know how you made it through. Yes, all you guys in Venezuela that have gone going through these hard times, devastating times. Someone is going to need that story because they too are going to be experiencing something similar and not know what to do, how to feel it. They too are going to need a brother, a sister like you. And we know that we are all here for each other, or we can be here for each other. It's a choice. That's why I show up every Tuesday. That's why I show up every Friday because it's a choice. I made a choice that I would never give up on my fellow man. I made a choice that if I can help one person find their peace, I have contributed to a peaceful movement and a peaceful world. Yes, that's what the choice I made, and I'm hoping you'll make the choice too. Because when you find love for yourself, you can find love for others. When you find peace for yourself, you can find peace in others. It is not about how different we are, but it's about how similar we are and how much information regarding those similarities we can share with one another to encourage our brothers and sisters to do better, be better, because we are better. And we are better together. We aren't better isolated. That's the problems that seniors have. That's why seniors have this fear. They have a fear because many of them have isolated. They're with their cat and their dog only, and they're watching TV many times all day. They aren't doing the things that would open their mind and have them be engaged with other human beings because you know what, it's very scary if I when seniors isolate, they don't even realize it. Let me tell you an example. Let me give you an example. My mother was in New York and she was probably in her 80s. She came here at 90, so she was in her late 80s, and I remember visiting her, and I remember going like, my God, Mom, how loud is that TV? How loud is the TV? And I looked at it, the TV was on 43. And I'm thinking, wow, 43. I listened to a TV at 13 and she's listening at 43. So, when we brought her here to Texas, we had to get her hearing aids. And she didn't even realize that she was losing her hearing, because I was saying, Mom, are you listening to it that loud? So these are the things that happen to a lot of seniors. We begin to isolate, we lose our hearing because we're not communicating with someone in a consistently, or somebody consistently not coming over to visit us, and they're not seeing our patterns and seeing maybe we're not eating well, or seeing we're not hearing well, or seeing we're not seeing well, or whatever it is. So that's why it's very, 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 very important that seniors surround themselves with good family, okay? Preferred family, even selected family, but somebody that loves you, appreciates, encourages you, and will check on you. and ensure that you're okay. And you do the same thing. We need to build these communities of support because communities of support live longer than communities of isolation, unless it's a COVID thing. Now, you only need an isolation with COVID, and many, 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 many people died with COVID. And we all learned a thing with that. And that's why I'm saying, telling these stories. What did you do in COVID? How did you isolate? What doctor did you go to? What applications? Not just the vaccines. What other things did you do? You know, how did you cope with it? These are lessons for generations behind you. You can bless your generation. 7 generations back and 7 generations forward by working on peaceful things, that by structuring things that give you joy, that give others joy. And when you are known for a peaceful person in a peaceful movement, like a Mother Teresa, like a MLK, like I said, it isn't that anything started easy for any of them. But now, when you look back at their history, they're thought to be people of peace. And they bring smiles to one's face and encouragement to the world. They don't bring horror and vision, although they experienced it themselves. They don't bring plague and plight. They bring peace and instruction. They bring guidance. They bring hope. And I'm asking each and every one of you, 733, to have hope and step out into your purpose and join my Purpose for Peace movement up at Wendi Charles Speaks. And also engage in my book, Be Splendid in Your Day, if you just don't know how. Because I had to have a coach pull me through. My coach, Dr. Sandra Scriven, gave me an assignment of writing a book. I did it. It came. I was amazed by it. I was so excited, Jacob. Yes, and I know you could do the same thing. You could say the same thing. So hit me some likes, send me some hearts, send me some roses, send me something because I want to stay here. I want to stay on this channel, and I want you to join me every Tuesday and Friday from 8 to 9 so that we can discuss what it is you can do to work on your purpose. So you have your peace, Nick. Peace is so important. Mental peace is so important. There's nothing more important than a human being having their peace of mind. Nothing more important than a human being not sitting and suffering with regrets. There's nothing more important than a human being seeing the reality of a fear and not stepping into false fears, feeling real. Yes, it's so important that you, as a senior, and a senior being what AARP says at 50 years old, that you start, no matter how messy, working on your purpose so that you have your peace and realize that you got 50 more years on this planet. You don't have an expiration date on your head, your arm, your buttocks, or your foot unless you tattooed it on. So you can live, child. You can live, my friend. You can live, Nick. So step up and invest your time and energy in you today. Start today. Stop struggling. Go up and do the 90-day intensive or go up and do the beginner. Okay, get rid of these roadblocks. Whatever it takes, I want to give you something. And that's the other thing. Give somebody something. Leave a legacy for your family. Leave a legacy. Take care of your health. I want to encourage all of you guys, Julie. Go do those annual checkups and especially get to that dentist. People don't even realize that your teeth can kill you. Bacteria gets into the heart system and will take you out of here. I went through having a cleaning of my teeth, okay? And then the next day I had some pain and I called him and I said, you know what? I'm going to come back because I don't know what happened. And I had a cleaning, but luckily I also was going to my PCP the next day. So I had the cleaning on Monday, on my PCP on Tuesday, and then I was going to go back to my dentist on Wednesday. But while I was at my PCP, I'm sitting there and my blood pressure went up to about 200. I don't have high blood pressure, but I told him, I said, I had a toothache. I don't know what happened. And he looked at it. He said, yeah, you have a crack something. And he said, listen, I want to give you this medication right now. You take this medication because he knew I didn't do medication. I like beetroots and things like that. I don't like drugs because I messed up on drugs being on Roboxil for 30 years. So I took the medication. Within 30 minutes of going to get the medication and taking the medication, I kind of felt a huge headache come on, but I took that medication. Medication took that pressure down. I then made an appointment. They said I had an appointment with my dentist on Wednesday. Went back to him. He showed it. He showed it. He sent me to an endodontist. And so when I finally went to the endodontist on the Monday, endodontist said, this is how a lot of people die. I said, what? She said, a lot of people die because what happened to you is your tooth died. And when your tooth died, it shot your pressure up. And people get strokes from that. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? So I'm telling all of you, stay close to the checkup. Do the annual checkup. Get the teeth checked. And you know, I have Dr. Chi on my show. She tells you about the eyes. I had no idea that after menopause, that women had issues with dry eyes. Who knew? I knew I had a problem with dry eyes when I was in corporate America because I went through some craziness in corporate America. I was always stuck with American Airlines would send me into messy things to clean them up. And so I remember being on this project and it was such a mess. And I kept going to the eye doctor saying, I don't have any tears. Linda, how you doing, Casey? I don't have any tears. What's going on? I need to get the eye drops or whatever. And I went for months. Okay. Funny thing happened. When America decided to lay us off, 2,500 people off, right? The shoe dropped, boom! You laid off, got the pink slip, now got to go to workman's comp, do all those kind of things. The next week or so, after the shoe dropped, I didn't have any more problem with my eye. Why? I had stressed myself out. And that's what I'm sure you do. I'm sure that you stress yourself out, create your own problem, your own nightmare. It's in your own head because you allowed an environment to affect you and harm you and cause this mess and stress for you. I know because I did it. And we're no different. We have similarities. Okay, we have some differences, but there are many similarities. And when I say similarities, I'm talking stress can kick your tail, soccer. Stress can kick your tail. But you have to change your mind. You have to just make that one choice. You know what it is? Just make a decision. It is simple as that. Just make a decision that today I'm not going to allow anything to stop me from working on my purpose for peace. Today or this year, I'm not going to make anything stop me from getting my annual checkups. I'm going to find the money if I don't have insurance for it, but I'm going to stay on top of my health because my health is my true wealth. No matter how much money I have, if I have bad health and I'm halfway dying and I'm in hospitals and or on a dialysis or something like that, I'm struggling. I'm struggling for the energy. And it's hard to stay focused because now I'm struggling, for the focus. Because now sometimes I have the fog. So you gotta always never give up on you, no matter what. Never give up on you. And aging, yes, it changes you. Aging, you wear that body out. Yes, you do. There are parts of it that you wear out. So you gotta replenish it with water. You gotta replenish it maybe with vitamins. You gotta replenish it with exercise. You gotta replenish it by doing whatever the doctor suggests you do. But get those eyes checked, get those teeth checked, get that PCP physical every year at a minimum. I say when you're a senior, you need to be going to your dentist every quarter. You need to have them teeth cleaned every quarter so that you can ensure that you don't have any heart issues or bacteria going in. And if you have too many teeth that are loose, you probably need to take them out and get some dentures or something like that because it's probably healthier for you. But I'm not your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you a suggestion and I'm telling you what my doctors have told me and I'm telling you what I've seen. And you know me talking last week about a girlfriend of mine whose husband, ex-husband, was in the hospital and she called because he was on a respirator and saying, hey, things were binging and dinging. And the doctor said he had 2 days. Well, baby, it's been 2 months, and the man is now off of a respirator. And sure, there's going to be a lot of recovery time, and he's going to have to work on it. But guess what? The man's alive. He's alive, and that means he has another opportunity, just like you. You woke up today, Emma, and you were alive, Jordan. You were alive. Subscribe to me in the chat. You were alive if you like what I'm saying, and tell a friend that we are here. I want to give you permission to work on your purpose so that you have your peace always. And no matter what you do, you can start today working on something, learning how to play that piano, learning how to do that language, learning how to write the recipe book. The things that you put off that you thought you were too old, it was too late. You're living longer. So be engaged longer too with you. Okay? Not anybody else, but with yourself. Because when you engage with yourself, you will work on your purpose, you will find your peace, and you will find happiness and joy every day in what you do. Yes, there are things that you'll have to do that you don't want to do. Perhaps you may have to go to dialysis that morning, right? It's something that you don't want to do, but you have to do. So take them 3 hours when you get there, though. But say you're going to start writing your book that day. Say you're going to start writing your story that day. I don't even know why you're on it, but maybe you're going to write what happened and why. And, maybe it's just a generic thing. I don't know. But whatever, you got the 3 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 2 or 3 times a week, if you're doing it, to start working on your purpose for peace instead of scaring yourself that you're getting ready to die, that you've been on the transplant list for this and that. You have to stop your mind making you crazy. Yes, it's your mind that makes you crazy because it's only a choice. The choice is change the way you think. You'll change the way you respond to it. You change the way you act to it. And if you have people around you that aren't helping you with the change, you've got to begin to cut them out, to get rid of the stinking thinking. It doesn't help you grow. It doesn't help you heal. And you know what? They weren't right for you anyway. Maybe they're right for you later, but right now they're not right. Anybody that's in my life that's not supporting my life, not encouraging my life, not forgiving transgressions from my life, they've got to be gone because I've forgiven me. I've given myself hope. I've put myself back in the game, baby. Back in the game. And I want all of you seniors to get back in the game because we're living so long and we're not dead yet. And with each adversity that we've learned how to maneuver through things. Maybe not the best way, maybe not the brightest, the smartest way, but it is the way, and we have. So give yourself grace. Give yourself a pat on the back for getting through it, for waking up another day, for showing up for you because you are so beautiful and you have so much inside of you, of your story on the yellow brick roads, on the cruise ship. Oh, there's so many things. And if you don't believe me, maybe go up to YouTube. There is not a subject, there is not a science, there is not an animal, there is not a human being that is not up there of some sort. Okay? So you can always catch your crowd, no matter what your crowd is. I'm encouraging you to be part of my crowd. I'm encouraging you to join my Purpose for Peace movement. Yes, but if I am not the crowd for you, go ahead and find your crowd, but find something that you want and love to do. Love you through and through and work on your purpose every single day because your purpose will give you your peace, Charlie, Mama Kulu, Hollywood. It will give you your peace and find your faith. I hear people always telling me about the faith. I hear people saying, I go to Bible study on Wednesday. I go to church on Sunday. I go to whatever. Well, good. I'm glad you go. But I'm asking you, are you praying for peace? Do you treat people with dignity and respect, wherever your religion is? I hear you've gone to the mosque and I hear you did this, but are you treating your fellow brother and sister with love and kindness? Are you trying to help one, teach one, or are you saying, you this religion and that's wrong, and you this religion and that's wrong, and mine is right, but yours is wrong, and this is why? Just accept what it is that one has embraced as long as it is not harmful and in hate. Just embrace the love and peace because each faith, I have a poster on my website. It is 13 faiths that show that every faith has one of the similar things. It is to love and honor your brother and sister as you do yourself. Okay? But again, here we have the problem. If you haven't found love of self, right? And if you haven't found honor of self, then perhaps that's the problem. No matter what religion you are, is that you just haven't been able to implement. Well, let's work on 2026 that you work on. And let's work on 2006 that you never give up. And that you get a book like this of pages that are blank and you begin to write down the things that scare you. And you begin to ask yourself, because that's the exercise I have in my book, I'll Be Splendid in Your Day. The things that scare you, write them down and then look at them. Should I really be scared of this? Should I really be scared of the fact that my toenail is black and blue? And now I'm gonna be afraid and scare myself to the point that I'm gonna think that it's gonna be amputated. No, I'm gonna look at it as black and blue. We're gonna call a physician. We're gonna say, "Hey, what do we need to do with a black and blue toe? And what else can I do? What can I do to get my circulation right? What can I do to get my sugar down? What can I do? Whatever it is, whatever the reason is that you have it, we're gonna find a solution." We're not gonna make up all these delusional things, and things that are false evidence appearing real. We are going to attack it as it is. We are going to look at it as it is. And that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to take your collections, that vintage record collection, and share it with others. You know you wanted to. That's why you collected it in the first place. Or maybe you thought you were going to sell it one day. Or maybe you're going to hand it down to generations one day. Whatever you want to do, start today and get it done. Start today and do it. Step into your purpose now, today, not tomorrow. You have my permission and the permission of the universe that if there's anything that you are doing that's about world peace and being peaceful, and it puts you in a good mindset and puts you in a loving, friendly environment, do it. Do it now. Run and do it. Run immediately there. Absolutely run. Because you'll be many in body, but one in mind for peace. And if you are the instrument of peace, guess what? You are the instrument of peace for new mankind. And isn't that how it? Because most of us think we're very limited. Most of us think that we can't be the change, right? But we can be the change. I know y'all heard that in the slogan, but I'm saying I learned we can be the change. I learned I can be the change. I learned that when I wrote my book and you read it, I was the change. I know that when I did my programs and you implement them, I was the change. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to be the change for somebody because somebody needs what you got. Somebody needs the knowledge. If you're an attorney or something, somebody just needs to talk to you to understand what they can do. Now I'm not talking about using you and not paying you for your services, but if you chose to, you could give back. I'm up here trying to do something here. TikTok makes you do a drag, and I'm trying to drag the little cookie cutter thing, the little piece, and the piece is saying, nah, not here. Like I said, you start these things off messy, and then all of a sudden they turn all right. Then all of a sudden, you know who I am when I come up. You'll say, oh, that's Wendi Charles. I know what she speaks of. I know what she's about. She's about the Purposeful Peace movement. That's what I'd like to be known for. A Purposeful Peace movement. I'd like to know that I have helped you become the author of your own story and that you've unleashed your inner authority and that you've unleashed it every day and that you're sharing. I want to learn from you. I don't want to just be the coach. I want to be coached. Why? Because when we're in this together, wow, it's just a wonderful world. You know what? Like Louis Armstrong said, oh, it's a wonderful world. He was a friend of my father's. And that's another story. My dad was a producer and director at WAW radio station in 19, started in the 50s, and he was there for 35 years. And one thing I got to meet Quincy Jones and Jackie Robinson and Duke Ellington and just a lot of artists. In fact, I still have tickets from Billie Holiday show or something that she had sent to my father. I guess he didn't go to the show because I have a ticket. So anyway, but I'm just saying, I just realized that there's so many great individuals that were here before us, and you have an opportunity right now to be one of those great individuals. Great because you just shared one little thing. Great because you told somebody maybe how to put eye drops in their eye. Great because you maybe help somebody catch something because you told them to go to the doctor. Great because you put together these recipes and on the holiday they Googled the recipe and made that beautiful macaroni and cheese. I'm not sure what the greatness you will choose to do, but I do know that you are great. And I do know that you're the author. And I want you to step out. And here, we are here together and just, I want you to embrace yourself. I want you to know you're splendid. I know you're splendid every day. You're splendid in your life. I want you to just wake up and feel the energy and the brilliance of you. I want you to step into your purpose and join the Purpose for Peace movement up at Wendi Charles Speaks. Yes, I'm spending a lot here, and I'm spending a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy, but I love it. And I want you to show your love to me. Am I doing what you want? Am I listening to your request? Am I helping you? Is this helping any of you? Is this positive for you? You know, that's what I'm trying to say. What is it? What is it? What is it? You are going to live a long time. So create something that will live as long as you. Be splendid in your day. Be splendid in your life always. And I still ain't got this TikTok drag. Oh, whoop, whoop. Let's see this TikTok drag. See if you come over. Oh, they should do something else. Like, click on how many bicycles or how many cars or something. This drag dropper is kind of challenging. But anyway, I want to thank you so much, Majestic and George and Alan and all my fellow human beings, that if you guys know a thing or two, tell somebody, share it with somebody. Please, we all need your energy and we all need to know about you and how you got through. It'll help us. It'll help this world. It'll be back like what we saw this weekend of a country that's been here for 250 years celebrate their independence. And you will feel the same. You will celebrate the independence of you. Now that you have figured out your purpose, you can work on it every day and be independent. Be independent of your thoughts, right? Your thoughts, your choices, not just the things you have to do, but the things that you want to do. Let's get that balance in your life, baby. Let's get that balance back because you deserve it. You deserve to live your best life until death do you part. Yes, and if you're married, you know that vow, death do us part. Oh yeah, I know. I have my guardian angel with me every day, and I have to remind myself and pinch myself because I was running. I was running. I never thought we'd be connected. And now we've been connected. 49 years married, 51 together. So if all y'all that TikTok me and tell me to, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Whatever. Yep, baby. Are you married? Yes, I am, and happily. So anyway, I'm gonna say, I hope you are married to you. I hope you are married to your purpose. I hope you are married to your peace. And if you're not, I want you to get married. Have a vow for you. Do that vow for you today. Say, I am, I will, I can, I will, I shall, I can. I will work on me today, every day, for the rest of my life. I am going to close the door for the negative Nellies and the negative Nelsons, and I am stepping out into my purpose. And I am joining communities that give me love, bring me peace, and honor me. Think that I am gorgeous no matter whether I have a pimple, whether I have wrinkles, whether I'm fat, whether I'm skinny, whether I'm black, whether I'm purple, whether I'm blue, whether I'm white, whatever it is I am, love me. I'm just gonna bask in a world or an environment. I'm gonna create my own environment. If it ain't here for me, I'm gonna create one. And I'm gonna create the one that celebrates me always. Celebrate you always. Celebrate you always, please. Because there is nothing more important than you. Be splendid in your day. Be splendid in your life. Be splendid always. Because only you can take you to the next level of this. And it starts with me. Wendi Charles at Wendi Charles Speaks. Have a beautiful rest of your week. I'll see you back on Friday. And let's begin again. Let's start, let's continue, and let's share. Love you. Be splendid in your day.